Good to see you again, or nice to meet you if I haven't met you before. My name is Parker Dickey, and I'm currently in a sound booth within my school building, Dinfos, on Fort George G. Meade, Maryland. And I wanted to talk about change. There are a lot of things changing around here for me as a soldier, at our detachment, within our company, and all kinds of stuff. And, as a believer in God, as a follower of God, I thank the Lord for allowing me to see these things in a perspective that are different than from the perspective that the company and the rest of the soldiers that I'm here with see things in, and the light that they see them in. And I wanted to come on here and kind of share, what I've been experiencing and what I've been learning about change as I'm learning to grow, push myself, and change as I, get older and gain wisdom. And I just want to thank God first and foremost for even helping me get to where I'm at. I was a fool, and I was a willful fool. It was nobody's fault but mine. But I thank God for allowing me to embrace change and to not only, be a servant to it, but to be the, perpetuator, or to be the what's the word? To make the change myself rather than to try and follow or chase the change. As change comes, I don't want to be behind it. I want to be the one pushing forward, because my mentor always told me, he said, that's been huge here because, I struggle with resisting the urge to complain. But I shouldn't say I struggle, but I wrestle with it all the time. I'm always wrestling with it. Because here there will be changes that you won't like, things that I'm not fond of, or I don't believe are the right way, or I don't think is the way it should be done. But who am I to disagree or to resist change if I don't know the best thing for me? Okay, so let me explain it like this. I'm 26 years old. I don't know necessarily what I need to be better. I know that I need to be better, but knowing what you need, knowing that you need to be better, and then knowing what you need to make that happen are two totally different things. And although I have one understanding in one aspect, I don't have it fully in the other. And so that's why I love being in an environment with trained individuals, people that are down the road and that are not here to butter my toast, but to make me more efficient and proficient in the things that I'm doing. And that's where, when these changes are happening, who am I to complain in the moment? The end result might be exactly what I wanted, but because I didn't know what I needed to get there, I'm going to complain now and then be grateful later. How does that work? Once the end result's done, I'll just be sitting back thinking, why was I complaining? So my mission now is to stop complaining. It's to embrace it and to be patient and to take it as it comes, knowing that I don't know the end result and I don't know why these things are happening now, but I do know that if I did the things the same way that I was doing prior, I would know the end result and it'd be nothing. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And so what I'm learning here is to not complain. That's simple. I know that sounds like, it might be basic for a lot of you, but even if it's something you understand, like, I want to reiterate it. And if it's something that nobody's really thought about, stop complaining. Push yourself. Push yourself. I can live with myself a little bit better every day because I'm not waking up complaining like a lot of the people that are here. Not because they're less than me or worse off than me. They just don't have the understanding. And I thank God for that understanding because, man, I'm starting to like this discomfort. I'm starting to like this friction because I lived a life of comfort and, of no friction, no resistance. I was always just sliding by. And now, I find so much to learn from in just putting my head down when things aren't the way I like them, when I can't do anything about them, and just chugging along. and that is speaking from experience, being a man, owning up and being a man and just being like, hey, this is the hand that I have dealt right now. Like, let me play this out. This is what I got. Let me give it all I got. And I see a lot of people here complain and moan and groan and they're so bitter about everything. But, I just have a different goal. I have a different mission, and I have a different demand within myself for my God, because, I'm called to, be set apart, be different, wrestle this flesh to death, until the last day, to put this stuff under submission. And this flesh wants to complain and moan and groan and be annoying and complain. I don't like the sound of that. Complaining is almost like a sin to me. You know what I mean? That might be in scripture. There might be something that talks about that, and it just might be in a context of what I'm unaware at this moment. But like complaining, groaning, like the Israelites in the desert. Oh, they're giving us this bread, this manna. Oh, we just want to go back to Egypt. Oh, how am I going to complain when I ask God to change me? When I ask God to help me become a better servant, a better man, a better husband, a better brother, a better father, a better son, a better soldier, a better just person, a better follower. Like, who am I to complain? He knows what I need, and it's not going to feel good. My mentor Steve, he'd always say, pay now, play later, or play now, pay later. I would rather go through hell now so I can go through heaven for eternity than go through a heaven now and be in hell for eternity. I'd rather go through an AIT here for training. It's getting a little more tough, a little more rules and restrictions that are going to help me adapt to undesirable environments and scenarios, so that when those come down the road, I wasn't pampered and sugared up this whole time, sugar coated and sweetened and softened. Man, I want to be battle ready. I want to be tough, gritty, And so here, there's a lot of things I don't agree with sometimes. There have been some great changes, some new leadership, some guys that really care and that don't give a damn about our feelings, because they knew that if they took into consideration every feeling of every soldier here, nothing would get done and people wouldn't grow because people would want to be comfortable. So I love the direction that it's heading here. Now, that doesn't mean that I agree or like everything, but I love it for what it is, and I love for what it's doing to me. And I love that God had brought me here to keep me in an environment that is continually, pedal to the metal. And don't take correction personally, or I should say hyper personally. Take correction personally. Take it, look within yourself and be like, what could I do better? What is that about? Why were they singling me out? What about me was not sufficient enough to please the people that I need to please or do what I need to do? How can I do it better, and what do I need to do to make it better? So that's the thing. When you get corrected, God says he disciplines those that he loves. He disciplines his children. What parent that loves their children isn't going to keep them in check? If you don't love your kids, you're just going to let them go do any drugs they want to do. Let them go drink as much as they want to drink. Let them go be with as many women and sleep with as many girls as they want to. A loving parent is going to discipline and correct their child in the proper way. And so being out here, although my drill sergeants aren't my father or God, they are people put in my life right now to turn me from a civilian to a soldier, to get me, distracted to focused, from dull to sharp. And when they correct me, yes, drill sergeant. And let me go, not just say yes on my lips and not make a change, but man, yes, drill sergeant, let's hurry up and get this talking. I want to go change. I want to go make that correction. And I love to do that now, because it's a battle within myself, and it should be a battle within you. It should be you against you. You're not competing against anybody else, and quit thinking that that's your measure. You're not to be competing against other people. That's the world. That's sports. That's the godlessness of this place of comparison. Social media, looking at this person and that person. Stop comparing yourself. Do you have the same name as them? Are you the same height, gender? Are you the same skin tone? Do you have the same hair color as them? Do you have the same background? Do you have the same trials and tribulations? Do you have the same trauma? Do you have the same victories as them? No. Be you. And if you can't get it together for you, I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know when the turning point is for everybody. Some people don't have one. And some people never turn around and never get that dog in them to just demand more. My dad always told me growing up, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand it then. He found that in his life with his older brothers and stuff, and then eventually it internalized, and then he's driven enough to push himself every day and do what he needs to do and make his bed and do the little things just to do the little things. And now with the environment that I'm in, I'm learning the same thing. And I want to encourage anybody out there to not shy away from change or from correction, being rebuked lovingly, all of these things. Man, if you want to be better, listen to the people that can tell you that you're doing something wrong. When you smell something long enough, you go nose blind to it. When you listen to something long enough, you go ear blind to it. It's like a white noise. You don't even realize it anymore. Now, think about all of the daily habits that you exhibit every day. You're going to go life blind to them. So you need somebody with a clear conscience that is not caught up in what you're caught up in to see you with a fresh set of eyes and to be able to tell you, hey, get that right. That's not right. That's the wrong way to do it. That's not how you do it. That's a bad attitude. Change this, change that. And, take it personally and change. Don't take it hyper personal and make it like it's, they're out to get me. No. Correction is meant to save you. It's meant to protect you. It's meant to correct you and prevent you from further hurting yourself and damaging yourself or going to a place that you can't get back from. It's like walking out of a building with booby traps and lasers and, explosives. I'm walking out because, man, I just maybe went through it myself, and you're walking in, and I tell you, don't go in there. Quit walking that direction. You need to turn around. You need to not go in that building. It's going to hurt you. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. And you're like, look at you trying to control me, trying to tell me what I can and can't do. What are you? Who are you? Who are you? What are you? You don't know anything about me. So then you stubbornly and arrogantly walk in there and go through a horror show that could have been avoided, but because you took things hyper personally and you were prideful and didn't want to change, you then further damage yourself and put yourself in a position you didn't need to be in. So what I'm learning here is like, man, I'm starting to get this twisted love for discomfort, and it's not even twisted because it's holy, but man, I never used to like this, and now I'm starting to like this, and I'm not, everybody's complaining, that's not how I feel. Like, I'm starting to develop my own backbone, praise God. Get my own vertebrae, have my own set of, morals, like in beliefs and standards apart from the world, like building it on one that's driven and maintained and founded on God. It's like, I could say, it's this and that, but that's the main part of it. God gives me a joyous, hopeful, appreciative spirit. I look at things and laugh when other people are crying because I love it. While other people despise it, are angry and are bitter, I'm like, yes, Joe Sargent, yes, I'm smiling, I'm laughing. And they know it's not a mocking laugh or a sarcastic, I'm just joyous. Man, I'm a recruiter's dream, that's what they call me. Like, I walked down recruiter's office, I just wanted to get in there, I wanted to get dirty, I wanted to get yelled at, I wanted to get, thrown into the front leaning rest and bang some push-ups out. Nobody really likes it in the moment, but I love what it's doing for me. And I would say if you want to start growing, stop complaining about everything and try and take a step back in the moment. Be humble and admit that you have no idea what this is going to do for you other than put you in a place of discomfort and force you to grow, because that's where the growth happens. So for me, I'm like, man, I just see it all around here. I just wanted to encourage you to love the fire, Silver is for the crucible, gold is for the furnace, and the heart of man is for God, So, man, it's so easy to hate stuff and to be bitter and annoyed and angry. It's so easy. So quit taking the easy road. Quit doing the easy thing. Nothing in life worth having comes easy. That's an old quote like that. You've heard it a billion times. But take the higher, harder road. Quit eating the low-hanging fruit. Climb the tree. Sweat a little bit. Put some work in. Too, you grab that fruit at the top of the tree, you get a view too. But for all the people that just hang out on the ground and don't want to move vertically, they'll never see what you see. So if you are feeling called by God, or there's something in you and you don't know him yet, to branch away from that friend group or from your family or even from your old self, if you feel a calling to separate yourself, do it. That's when God drew me near to him. And if you've already called out to the Lord, if you already have a growing relationship with him, then continually submit yourself to going deeper and going further and changing and looking forward to the journey. At the end, it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to look back on your life and you're going to love the trials and tribulations and the struggles and the chapters and the peaks and the valleys. That's what makes a great story. That's what makes a great life. And we're all going to go through them, so get that through your head. Get it through your head. Quit having false expectations that are not real, that are not based in reality. Prepare for war, within yourself and in this world. Prepare. You hear the rumors, you see the news reports. I'm a soldier. If anybody should be worried, it should be me, but I'm not, I'm a soldier. I signed up to join the military, to sacrifice 5 years of my life to serve something greater than myself. God said there's no greater form of love than to lay down one's life for a brother. Shoot, I'm out here laying down my life for 330 plus million strangers in America. They'll never know, and I'll never know who they are. But man, what a beautiful thing. And so I didn't join summer camp. I joined the Army. I joined the United States military, and how are you going to join the military and be scared when talks of war, come to the surface? You didn't join for the right reasons. Maybe that bonus check was really the reason you joined. Maybe that job in the cubicle was really why you joined, and you thought you could get away. For me, I'm fully prepared. If God took me to the Holy Land of Israel to protect and fight and defend, what a blessing. With everything that comes with that. I'm not excited if I have to see the horrors of war. But what don't I already know that the Father has already said about this place? This is a place that is fallen, that loves death. It's Halloween today. And I've seen all kinds of godless costumes. This place is fallen. This place is dying. It's dead. It's wicked. It hates God. It hates life. I would rather go so that somebody else doesn't have to. I'm not afraid. My life is a living sacrifice to God. If he wants me to go to war and fight, and I come back without a leg or without hearing or whatever, man, so be it. I trust my Father. I trust him. And I wouldn't be here without him. I wouldn't be here to even breathe this breath and speak these words to you if it wasn't for him. So I trust him. I trust him. I was trying to hold on to my life and resist the real change, and it wasn't going anywhere. When I finally gave up, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it, man, I truly believe I'm on my way, and I'm finding it. I do. And I am so just blown away and grateful to God for this journey. And if you hold on to things and you're scared to change and you're scared to make that change, you won't experience what I'm feeling and even greater. If you don't let go of your old ways and embrace the change. You got to embrace the change. Because change is going to happen whether you like it or not. Change is going to happen whether you give it permission or tell it no. So you might as well love it. You might as well find a way to appreciate it. Quit being so miserable. Quit being that kid in the back seat that's crying, Mom, I don't want to go. I don't want to know. Ah! Then after your mom picks you up from that thing she dropped you off at that you didn't want to go to, she turns back and asks you, how was it, honey? And you're sitting in the seat. You just had a blast, but you're being stubborn, being a wicked little kid. And you look at your mom and you're like, it was all right. But she knows damn well you loved it. You know damn well you loved it. But you wouldn't have gone if it wasn't for a loving father, mother, person, or environment, or force to push you into a place you didn't initially want to go. I had that encounter one morning. I woke up when I was living back at home 3-4 years ago. My parents were like, Parker, get up out of bed and go with your mom to work. I'm like, heck no. My mom comes in first and asks. I'm like, no, Mom, no. She comes asks me again. I'm sleeping. No. Being a lazy little sluggard, little sloth. And now I hear my dad, Parker, get up. You're going with your mom. So obviously I'm up then. My dad, he's an alpha. I get up. I'm not happy though, and I'm putting everything on. I get in the car with my mom. I got a nasty attitude. I'm trying to sleep in the car on this 1.5-hour drive through LA. My mom's driving, getting ready for work, and I'm just being a thorn in her side. We get to the job site. Parker, are you like, come on, let's go. I'm not getting out. What the heck? Go stand on a job site with you? What's the point? Why? Being such a fool, right? And I'm just being just a crappy son. But eventually, hey, she gets me to go, and I get the heck out of the car with an attitude, and we're walking down the street, and she's like, Parker. Now, thank God I had to tighten up because I would have kept that attitude going as far as possible. But I'm about to meet 2 of her customers, a husband and wife that are building a house and are looking to get windows and doors. And so I change it up, get in there. And my mom is, talking with them, meeting with them. I'm kind of standing off at a distance, just kind of being in the room. And she eventually goes to get measurements done and all that. And it's just me and the husband. He's sitting there on his phone. He's smoking a cigarette. The house is gutted. There's no windows or walls yet. It's just wood and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what'd you say you do for work again? He's like, oh, I'm a director. I shoot commercials and videos and movies and films. And I'm like, what? Because of that day, I go on to working on an Apple 11 commercial with him for the first time 3 months later. And then that turns into 2 Samsung, 2 Facebook, a T-Mobile commercial, freaking 5-day Ford Bronco commercial. And I had the time of my life seeing film and video and all these things on a professional level at the highest that it gets. And it opened my eyes. I'm a young creative videographer, photographer, graphic designer at heart. And to be there and to see that was amazing. And I was just... wow, man, I did not deserve that, but God is good and God is gracious, and that He allowed me to experience that for, quite some time. And then COVID came and hit it. But the moral of the story is that I was trying to resist the thing that was best for me. I was that little stubborn kid in the back seat. I was begging his mom not to go. And then after I went, I loved it. So when change comes, you can either complain and be me in my room and in that passenger seat of that car all the way to the job site, or you could say, you know what? Yeah, hey, you need me, Mom? You need me, Dad? You need me, Joe Sargent? Hey, I'm up. And I got a good attitude while I'm doing it. Hey, you got to go. Hey, what time? How soon do I need to be ready? You got to get to where? Okay, let me get ready. Be in the car, having a great talk, engage. I look back and, I'm not proud of that. But it's a good learning point for me, and I can use that to teach people, and I can use my mistakes to enlighten you on not repeating what I did, so that you don't have to be that stubborn person resisting change, and then when change is all said and done and it's came and gone, you're happy with the result, but you look back and you're not proud with the way that you approached it. And so that's really what I want to tell you is, be excited to change. Try to find the joy and the purpose in it. And if you can't understand it, just have faith. Just trust that if you knew what was best for you, would you even do it? So when change comes and it's something you can't run from, man, put your head down and get to work. And hey, if you know you need to change and nothing's coming to push you, make the change yourself. Don't wait for life to do it. just like my mentor said, you better humble yourself, because you don't want to pray for God to humble you, because God humbles you, man. It's going to rock your world. It'd be better if you humbled yourself daily and he didn't have to come with a big old fat fine for you because you had been keeping the speed limit this whole time. So, humble yourself. Know that you don't know what's best for you. And even if you did, you still wouldn't know how to do it properly. Trust the Lord. Know that God knows what you need. And speaking to my men out there, be a dang man. Be a man. Stop complaining and go out there and face the storm and embrace the change. Embrace the fire. Embrace the heat, because it's only going to refine you, man. The heart of man is for God. So if you want to be refined, learn to get comfortable with the heat being turned up. Learn to be comfortable with being in the heat of the furnace. So I just wanted to tell you that and encourage you, anybody out there. There's a lot more I could go into, but I just wanted to keep this around the time that I usually do. I might be over, I might be under, I'm not too sure. But it is getting hot in here. I'm probably breathing a lot of carbon dioxide. There is a little vent over here to let oxygen in and out, I believe. But it's getting toasty in here. I'm in my freaking ACUs, so I just wanted to share that, though. I brought this camera because I know I wanted to talk about something today and make a video in some location in this building. But I got a loud voice. I need my own space. So in here, I just figured it'd be best to be in a sound booth to get away from everybody and, not be a potential bother to maybe any instructors or anything going on here. But I just want to encourage you, embrace the change, stop complaining, and do it with a dang smile on your face, because you will be better at the end of all of this stuff. You will be better at the end of all this adversity. You will be better when the storm passes. So, rather than trying to hide from the rain, go and run out in it. Go enjoy it. Let the rain fall down. And I hope you guys enjoyed this message. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I thank you all for tuning into this channel and spending your precious time with me. Praise God that we're even alive to, make these and watch these. And to God be the glory. I'll see you next time. And until then, peace out. Shalom, everybody.
Father, just use me. A servant soul.